The evolution of Hezbollah as a force to reckon is closely in connection and connected to the history of Lebanon, and that is where the entire skirmish comes to picture. Modern Lebanon emerged after independence from the French Mandate rule of 1943. Lebanon emerged as a territory after World War I, when it was carved from the Ottoman Empire as Greater Lebanon under French control in 1920s. The country's demography reflected the geopolitical changes back then among empires over the years. The Maronites, a distinct group of Eastern Christians with ties to Vatican, emerged as 40% of the population, while the remaining population was Sunni Muslims in the north and Shia Muslims in the south. They were closely at 30% each. The 1943 National Pact established a confessional, sect-based power-sharing system among religious groups. The President of the Republic is always a Maronite Christian, the Prime Minister is a Sunni Muslim, while the Speaker of the Parliament is a Shia Muslim. Lebanon's entanglement with Israel and the larger Arab world and the rivalry came after 7,000 Palestinians fled into Lebanon. The Palestinians set up large camps on Lebanese territory and even carried out cross-border raids on Israel. The migration in 1949 and in the 1967 of Palestinians after the First and Second Intifada led to demographic shift in Lebanon, leading to increase in the Muslim population. The Christians in the country aligned with the West, while the Muslims aligned with the Arab states backed by the Soviet Union. And as tensions escalated after PLO located to Lebanon started targeting Israel with a series of attacks, prompting the Israeli raids into Lebanon. And Israel raided Beirut airport in 1968 in retaliation for hijacking two of its civilian passenger aircraft. The Palestinian camps had become training and recruitment ground for PLO. Israel wanted to end cross-border raids on its territory. The Maronite Christians who headed the power structure in Lebanon started to organize militias that were armed with modern weapons to fight the Muslim militia, including the PLO, who were trying to oust the Maronite from power. And the Christian East Beirut became besieged by PLO camps, was subjected to kidnappings and sniping by the PLO. This led to Christian militia like the Kateb regulatory force fighting the PLO, its allies, resulting in the beginning of the Lebanese civil war. The Christian Maronite militia were backed by Israel. It led to invasion of southern Lebanon by Israel to root out PLO elements. The Israeli invasion of the 1982 was what led to the reset of Lebanon's political landscape. The invasion led to election of Gamal Bachir as president. That was boycotted by Muslims in the country. However, remember, Gamal was killed 9 days before he could take the oath, which further led to chaos. Israel invaded Lebanon in June of 1982 in response to the attacks launched on it by Palestinian Liberation Organization from southern Lebanon. And the Lebanon civil war had been raging for 7 years by then. The PLO left for Tunisia, but Israel's military stayed in Lebanon, supporting local proxies in the civil war. And this led to several Lebanese groups being formed to repel the invasion. One was from the Shia Muslim community. Large parts of the community had been displaced by Israeli invasion, leading to resentment. The organization drew support from the dissatisfied youth and the residents of the Bekaa Valley and Beirut's southern suburbs, which had marginalized Shia populations. Hezbollah quickly became a significant power in Lebanon. By the 1985, Hezbollah's military power was formidable. It was able to make the Israeli army withdraw to the Litani River in the southern Lebanon. Israel created security zones along the Lebanese-Israeli border. Policing that security zone was the Christian-dominated South Lebanon army, considered as Israeli proxy force, which continued to support the occupation of South Lebanon until Israel's withdrawal in 2000s. In 1992, after Lebanon's civil war ended, Hezbollah entered parliamentary politics, winning 8 seats in Lebanon's 128-seat assembly. Hezbollah's seats have increased. The group and its allies now have 62 seats in parliament. In fact, it also runs extensive social program in area where its presence is strongest, increasing its influence. By 2009, while maintaining its opposition to Israel, it continued its support for Iran. Hezbollah updated its manifesto, committed to its integration into a democratic form of government that represented the nation's unity rather than sectarian interests. But after the 7th of October 2024 attack by Hamas on Israel, the Hezbollah entered the war against Israel and is now threatening the 1982-like invasion of southern Lebanon to get rid of Hezbollah. Israel is doing so because Hezbollah now poses as an imminent threat to Israel's existence. So Israel there fighting a two-frontal battle, one with Iran, the other with Hezbollah today.